Motion sickness. Hold on. And put a big fat finger in there. Whose finger? Mine. Where do you want it? What's up, everyone? I am the High Priestess Phoenix. I am your spiritual... I'm told to move that. Healer, teacher, shaman, seer. No, it makes more sense over here. Sorry. Earth angel, mystic, medium, psychic, witch, yogi, guru, evangelist, North American symbol. I am your messenger of God, the first child of God reincarnated. I am Lilith. I felt not pressured. I felt inspired to speak. I was chilling like a villain, and here he comes to save the day. I had seen in my Facebook and my stories that it was Pac's birthday, and that just sent me on a whirlwind of adventures with Pac. I had said in my earlier video, we had made a video about talking to deities, but I had spoke about, him. I always do. He's in every single one. He's like the everlasting spirit. There's God, and then there's Pac. Meaning there's always God, and there's always Pac. Kobe comes and goes. I mean, he's always accessible, but he's not just in the room just breathing down my neck. He's there. It's the spirit of time to work, right? Well, it used to be. We evolve our connection into other spirits, or into other. It evolves. We'll just say that. So, I had made a video. I had talked about the beginning. In the beginning, where I was just kind of like, for all of them in the beginning, I'm just kind of a messenger. And then there's those that didn't leave, and he's one. And there's this video. If you scroll through my YouTube videos, there's this video that says how to return to the light. I don't know what part of what time of year it was. Probably, I don't know, summer or something. I woke up. I'm in trance, and it's been weeks now. And I realize, where the fuck is Pac? It's been like a week or something, and I realized I hadn't seen him. We hadn't talked, and I'm very confused. And I can hear him. I'm like, I can't see you. He's like, because you're in the light. And I have this unbelievably shattering fucking experience, dude. Unbelievably shattering experience, because up until that moment, he was there every day. Very real. If a ghost, if you could see a ghost in a form, that's what he was. He became so real. I could see him all the time, his shirt off. He would be in my car with his feet up on my dashboard like it wasn't shit. I'll never forget that time. I'm chilling with him, and out of the third eye, here comes fucking Eazy-E walking up. I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? I'm so confused. But in that same parking lot later on, I have him and Muhammad Ali and Kobe trying to talk me into quitting my job. I've had some really unbelievable experiences. And then it goes back to, the universe laughing at me and Pac. When I got into spiritual court, I'm sitting there in front of the divine justice, because I acted a fool with Wolfman. What was that? I knew not to say what I said. I had this instinctive feeling not to do what I was about to do, but I said fuck it, and I lit his ass up. I knew in my heart not to say such things, and I wouldn't restrict it. I just let it go. And I went against my inner knowing, is what got me in spiritual court. And so I'm sitting there in front of God Almighty. Well, it's not him. I'm always with him. But it's his judgment team, right? And I'm like literally trapped. It's just me. And then I look over and it's Pac. He can't do nothing. He can't do nothing, and I can't get out of this. What is it? It's a state of consciousness. You're locked in a state of being. I tried to explain that earlier, where you can get stuck astral traveling. So how do you get to Pac? It's one of the first ways of leaving, you don't even have to leave the context of your conscious to access the spirit world. The higher level deities come in higher level consciousness when you're talking to deities, but the spirit world, dead people, mediumship, nah, bro, necromancy, basic dead people, I want to talk to my grandma type shit. I don't have to be special to talk to my mom. These are just spirits, right? Now these guys are my spirit guides. They're spirits, ascended spirits of this life, right? Why are we connected? Well, it's way back before time, reconnection. It's a reconnection, if you will. It's a reconnection. That's all I can really say about that. But it's amazing because it's like, you know, on this day, people are mourning that they had lost him. And then your loss was my unbelievable gain. And I can't imagine, you know, waking up without him. Now, it's not as vivid as it used to be, like I said. I was in a place of absolute nirvana, is what they would describe that. The light. I can access that all the time now. And that's usually where I sit, is in this light. And I'm always, you'll hear me, I'm always trying to get back to the dark. I just want to sit in the dark, right? You'll hear me say that all the time, because that's not where I want to be. I don't want to be in the light all by myself with God's holy beings. Holy shit. I mean, they're great company, but this is God's kingdom. And all the fucking angels and shit. You can see why I like it a little dark and dingy. I am the goddess of hell. I've only known the sin and the darkness of life. So it's all, you know, lovely and grand. But all that dark stuff that comes in, that's my family. You know what I mean? All that POC, that's my family. You know, that dark shit, that's my family. It's hard to be there, though. You have to, it's a state of consciousness. Christ is a consciousness. It's a frequency. It's a state of being. So is POC. He's his own state of being. That's what I say. He goes beyond the limits of the spirit world. And like, I don't really know why God lets him and why he has such, I think it's just I think because he is my spirit guide, he is allowed such, you know, he's, you know, immunity. There's always that spirit guide, you know, going back to Virgil. You know, Virgil had to guide Dante. There's always a guide. You always have to have someone guide you through this from the other side. You know what I mean? To walk you through it. And that's what I do here now. I'm the one that guides you to that side. Right? That's all we are, guides. And, but he can break rules. I've seen him break into realities. I've said it. Like, make himself seen. In the real world, it's not so much, but in reality, he can change reality. He can move through the realities. Where a spirit is limited to the spirit realm. There's many realms, and that's conscious levels, I guess, and they call it higher vibrations. You know what I mean? You can't go from the graveyard up to, you know, God's kingdom unless you know the way, and that's what I try to teach you, is the pathways. They say something is like the tree of life and shit, the ascension path. The way is actually down instead of up. You think you're climbing up, but you have to go down to go up. It's funny. I learned that on the way. It's like, no, they gave us the wrong directions. This is all reversed. It's all backwards. It's all ass backwards. Yeah, put your ass to the ground and pray to God. Okay, that's what we're doing now, huh? And that's POC. And I'm very honored to talk about him, you know, and fully, like, our relationship and his living being and my, you know, his living self. He lives beyond the context of a human body. His spirit is ever living in all kinds of people. You're like, damn, that's some thug life shit right there. That's thug life. That's thug life. And you can hear him. You can hear his voice played throughout the day in any place on all frequencies. You should. I don't know where you're living, what hole you're living under that you don't hear Tupac's music being played anymore. And it's magnificent, but it's just that way too. If you'll ever watch how I share the music, they're all alive. I remember when I'm like sitting there, like, they said that Mama Cass died from a sandwich, bro. She choked on a sandwich. Who said what and why? I'll be in there telling everybody's real truths and shit. She knows the secrets beyond the grave. Yeah, because the body died, not the spirit. Necromancy. So there's a lot to say there, but I mean, exclusively is my, you know, constant flow of energy between the two of us. And I tell him all the time, he's like, I always describe him, he's like, he's that demon on the side. You know how they always paint like an angel and a demon on your side? Okay, so that would be Archangel Michael over here. That would be Michael Jackson. And I got Tupac Shakur on one side. Which way are we going to go with this? I'm going with Pac every time. And Kobe be looking at me like, you were supposed to act better. Stuff like tearing into Russ. Like, we'd be like, and I said it in my earlier video, I said, my masculinity is out of control. And, you know, me and Pac, we get together and we'd be like, so bros. He's so, I mean, he's so helpful, but I said not helpful when I'm trying to be Christ-like. You're not helping. But the thing is together we rise. That's the thing, is they had to push me so far, and then I got to pull them up the rest of the way. That's kind of how it works. Like, and you have to go back to being initiated into the homeless brotherhood of Buddha, that I'm throwing this big-ass, you know, shindig excitement celebration for me and Kobe. Look, Kobe, I got us there, dude. I got us there. Just by what you taught me how to do, I got us there. We're there, bro. We're in this frequency, dude. We are in the zone. Meaning not me, us. We rise. Like, my spirit, they're with my spirit. Wherever my spirit goes, they go. Right? And so it's a collective. We collectively rise together. Because, honestly, they had a lot more work to do before they were going to get to heaven. All of you do. All right, so that goes back to Lilith. The Lilith book, right? So God released his maidservant upon the sinful children of Adam and Eve. What does that mean? I release karma upon these children as I run my hands together. Meaning, I know what you're about to pay for. I know the payment for your sin. So I'm here not as the Grim Reaper, but as the bringer of justice. And that's what they say, she's karma. I'm not karma. Karma is right behind me, bro. They are right there to get you. And that's Michael Jackson. Sun gonna get you. What is it? I don't know. It's dark and dingy, and I don't know anything worse than me. And that's what I have always said. I don't know what's worse than me, and it's coming to get you. Whatever's worse than me is coming to get you. That's what I always say. So you can hear in my videos that I'm all about the children, and I break about the children, and we need to save the children. Because I'm trying to stop it. I've always seen the sins of the father are passed on to the freaking children. I'm trying to stop it in your bloodline so your children don't have to suffer. If I can't stop it with you, I'm going to save your children. I'm not your savior. I don't want to ever pretend like that. I am not your fucking savior. I just show you the way to salvation. He is the way to salvation. Truthfully, I mean, there's spiritual enlightenment. But you can't get to spiritual enlightenment without accepting salvation. Yeah, because that's stuck in your brain. What's in your brain? Shame. Unforgiveness. You have to be able to be accepting of forgiveness, and it starts with you being forgiven. If you can't accept that you're fully forgiven, you will never truly be able to forgive someone else. And that's what I told Mr. Plum. Mr. Plum stands at the gate of judgment. He says, according to what he was taught, by traditional Christian teachings, that these people shall not enter the gate of heaven. It's with that mindset that he will stand outside the gate of heaven. For what you wish upon the others will be your fate. You have to be all accepting like Christ was about everything. Which means forgiving about everything. And you can listen to me in my stories about being raped and beat and neglected and treated like trash and all the horrible things that have been done to me as a person. I had to accept and forgive everybody for everything, forever. In order to accept my own salvation, I must grant everybody else the same salvation. And that's becoming Christ-like. So, you look at Lucifer over there. And he brings out all of my fucking darkness that I'd be like, I take it all out on him. All my hateful, revengeful, evil ways come out on him. And what comes out next is Christ. Oh, Christ, why'd you do that to him? He's just my child. He is a fucking demon. Going back to baby daddies and everybody else, you know, it's like they're not evil. It's just the context of what we were told was evil and that their actions are purposeful towards us. If you can step back and see it as literally as Christ said for you, He asked God to forgive you because you didn't know what you were fucking doing, even though it looked like you were intentionally hanging the shit out of this man. They're not going to ask you for forgiveness. But that's a power that you have within you, that if you bestow that type of forgiveness upon another, then therefore it shall be bestowed upon you. There's things in life that you can't forgive yourself for, and others won't, that hold you back. You can't release yourself emotionally or mentally with unforgiveness. So all of these fake-ass, spiritual-ass motherfuckers, I can get under their skin and find the truth, that they're not. I can show their true colors. I don't purposely, it comes out. Why? Because I irritate their demons. Only so that me and their demons can have a great time with them. In the essence of, you need to heal this, and I was just like you, and this is fun and all, but no, and don't, and stop. Dr. Phil, have control. Speak with your demons, meet them, understand where they come from. Why do you act this way? Is there another way you can act? Stuff like that. But it ultimately comes down to, you know, He teaches you that through His life. It's like, how could you be so forgiving? How could you be so faithful? How could you be so joyful? That's what His story teaches you. And that's what I teach you. How did I become like this? How? And the chief says, how? Going back to it, in the beginning, it was just me talking to some dead people called Tupac, and people didn't believe it, but he's been there forever, ever. And he promised he'll be there forever, ever. He's always there forever, ever, until I die. Why? Because he can't get to the light without me. It's a contract. Even if he could, he can't. Why? Because he had work to do here. And instead of doing that work, I took on his works. And so until the work is done, we don't get to go. You know, it's not a clock out. In the essence, why'd you do that? Well, because his work aligned with my work. And why do we all need to do the work? You know what I mean? Fuck it. Right? And then I'm sitting here like, I hate this work. And that's why they won't let me down. I mean, in the beginning, he was pretty much just an asshole in the sense of, I just feel like they were assholes. I gotta go back in the video, but I really feel like they were just drill sergeants on my ass. Pac and Kobe. I just felt like they were so insensitive to what was happening, but I don't know. Looking back in my books as they describe the Dark Goddess and how she kicks your ass through this, I see now they probably were no worse than what I am. But when I was going through it, it was just so hard. I would just cry all the time about everything. Everything hurt. Everything about my current reality as I was losing everything, and everything about my past that I would visit hurt. I couldn't see a fucking future because everything was just falling apart in front of me. And I had to play mom, and I had to be strong, and I had to keep going on. And they were the ones that kept pushing me to go on. Like this morning. Fucking 4 o'clock in the morning, Kobe. What is it? What were we talking about? Oh, I'm just filled with how bad I feel for quitting my job. Damn it. You know, and that's, why do I attach him to that? Because he's the one that taught me how to go through those feelings and not run from them. How to face them. How to sit with them. He'll literally, you know, and especially on a Monday, we sit there and he replays the memories for me. I don't go back looking for no shit. I don't want to go back and relive that shit. I barely made it through a week. We got another week coming, and that's where Nipsey came in and taught me the marathon continues. Because I always had this idea, is it ever going to stop? Nope. What do you mean no? No. We're going to just keep digging inside of you. For how long? Forever. There's plenty you can find in there. That's stupid as fuck. So what am I? Just a mystery? I guess. I don't know what's in there. They just push shit out. I don't know. Memories, experiences, stuff. What are all these videos made of? They're made of you. And the stuff that's inside of you. Which is what? The entire universe, obviously. But no, it was always Pac. He's always just been there. I remember in Oklahoma, I was making jokes. I was making hella jokes. I was like, yeah, you ain't bringing your fucking ass down here to this fucking whole racist ass bitch, right? And at the time, I'm working at Walmart, and all of a sudden, dude, I come to work, and they're selling a bunch of Tupac Shakur fucking t-shirts. Thug Life. I was like, no way, dude, no way. You are so alive. You heard me. It was funny. I'd be laughing and shit. I'd be totally laughing. Like, you ain't fucking with it. And we laugh about everything. Like, in my quiet space, there's levels to this shit, right? And that's why I said, as soon as I turn on the music, that's that frequency. As soon as I light up a cigarette, that's his frequency. Anytime I'm chilling, I sit down to chill, that's me and him. That's the frequency. When I turn on the water, or when I turn off the water to the bath, and I sit in the bath, that's that frequency where he's there and I'm there. When I lay down in my bed, and I'm really about to almost pass out, that's that frequency where I see him again. When I'm laying in my bed, after Kobe has flashed me with some fucked up memory, or told me to get on the internet and look at Rust or some shit, and I got done pissed off and calmed down, I'm still laying there with my phone. There he is. After I get my coffee and I go down to have that first cigarette, there he is. It's a frequency. He's always there in that calm frequency. Now, as I move from that, that's just the start. That's the start frequency. It's the start of the engine. He's just the start of the engine, right? As I go through, and that's like, you're watching it. It's like, here's your RPMs. It just stays there. And then as you go through and you start adding gas, you know what I mean? You're going through different freaking frequencies and shit. You're always going to come back down to this frequency of where he is. We're at a frequency, always. You know what I mean? So I could be over here talking to, and that's what happened. I was over here talking to the moon. Literally, out of the moon comes Mother Mary, and now I'm having a whole conversation with Mother Mary, and I'm blown away from it. Then when I get into bed and I'm laying there, here's Pac, and he's trying to explain it it creeps me out even more. And then there's this funny time of when Vishnu is trying to relay spiritual enlightenment to me, and I don't understand anything that I'm getting in these visions. I don't know what they mean or where they're coming from. In the sense, I have no context. I'm like, what am I seeing? I don't know. I can't even draw a picture of what I'm looking at. Right? And that's where a lot of movies and music come in. I have to give you a visual, something to put in your mind. How do I put something in your mind of what I'm seeing? So that's where all the context, where the Holy Spirit comes in and gives me, commercials, little punchlines, songs, you know what I mean, movie scripts and stuff. They're trying to create a picture for you of what I see. They're using reference tools to reference, the picture that they gave to someone else, and this is how that person created this picture that I'm seeing in my head. Right? So anyways, I'm trying to figure it out, and I literally have to put on some thug music, and then it makes sense. And there's this huge laugh in the universe about this girl is so low vibrational. She only talks through fucking rap music. When I first met Wolfman, I told him, these are my spirit guides. You know them. They are for real, alive, and active, and in my life, and you have to go through them. Whenever someone's pretending to do magic, I'm like, yeah, good luck. You're going to get through Pac. You're going to get through Kobe. It's like he's he's everywhere around me. That is his job. From eternity, given from God. The authority given from God is for him to protect and guide me. I don't have to call another angel to come help me. I know he's right there, and he has no limitations to what he can do. That is my guide and my protector. Right? And then you got my fatherly figure, the colonel over there, fucking Kobe. And then there's all of the rest of them that, DMX, I know to be he's doing dark things in the darkness. I don't ever know what he's doing, but he's doing dark things. No, he became light later. No. He does karmic work. He does karmic work. So he might be that person that's haunting you. Like Pac says, go haunt him, and he goes haunt you. Like, he might be that dude. Like, he's that dude. He does weird stuff in the dark. Really? Yeah, I know. I'd be like, I don't want to know. I get this feeling that he's doing something I don't want to know. And I don't want to know. But Pac is always. And so I felt very inspired to talk about his existence and how alive he is and what he stands for. And as I always say, he is the most serious joke. If you had to put words on an energy, he's a serious joke. Everything's a joke, but it's fucking super serious to him. And as far as, like, you know, oh man, if there's something that he's always part of, it's like he has always hated Russ. He has always been 2 toes down on that dude's neck, bro. Since day one. I don't know if it's a spiritual thing. I don't know if it's because of he knows what Russ is doing in the physical world. I don't know if it's because he feels the pain that I really feel behind Russ. I'm not really sure where this all comes from, but it has been so live and active since the very beginning. He can't stand Russ. Really? I'm serious. And naturally, those spirit guides love Marshall. They choose Marshall. But Marshall doesn't choose himself. He chooses fucking Dr. Dre. And you've got to know that pisses off Tupac. What am I supposed to say? I mean, loyalty, I guess. Bros before hoes, I guess. What am I supposed to say? In the essence, yeah, there's me and there's always him. There's no me without him. Even he'll show up on the kids' songs and their Xbox. He's everywhere all the time around us. I don't have to worry about my children either. He is literally my guard dog, and I love him to death. And I feel for the people that actually knew him in real life and had this experience of what he was, and they lost it. I hope to encourage those particular people to reconnect with him and have him so active in life. He's not one singular spirit, but a spirit upon everything. A conscious level of thinking and being, just as Kobe. The Mamba mentality, as he called it. It's a way of being. You know what I mean? And again, you know, going back to Mr. Dark Knight of the Soul himself, he taught me how to be that way, how to channel it that way. You know what I mean? Those drills. He made me. He created that mentality, and he taught me that mentality, and then to walk in that mentality. And in that mentality is thug life, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I just wanted to share that. It's a lovely thing, you know what I mean? When I go to take a nap, like, when I'm laying there on my phone, he's right there, you know, talking bullshit to me. We're talking bullshit. You know, every thought that comes through me filters with him, too. It's, you know, us and my thoughts. Us and this world. Us, you know what I mean? And that's why it's really funny. I always think about it. It was so funny to me. I'm in Yuma, Arizona. I'm in the middle of a video talking shit to fucking Marshall about he shouldn't have put all that wedding shit in his videos, and that wasn't right. And all of a sudden, this train goes by, and it gets, you know, it's real loud, and I'm like, this is great. It's about to ruin my video. And all these men start floating down the river, and they're making me nervous, and I'm feeling giddy, and I am surrounded by hot guys with tattoos and goatees and fucking tans and fucking floaties, and I am higher than a kite. Like, not really off weed, but like I am so out of my realm right now. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? It's such a funny video. Oh my god, is it funny? It's called Surprised or something. I'll find it. And I'm like, Puck, where are you? Where are you? Are you seeing this? In the sense of, am I safe? I'm in a bathing suit, and all these guys these really hot guys are rolling up on me. I don't know what to do. It was a real moment of fear. It really was. And just the other day, you know, I'm like sitting there and I'm watching, I didn't know his name at the time. I'm watching them drag baby Theodore through the streets, and I'm crying. Pac, can you do something, bro? What'd he do? He brought baby Theodore closer to me so I could pray over him and feel better about him. That's what he did. I needed him to do something. I couldn't just watch this baby just be flung around like that. I still am, but I feel better about it. I feel like I've put my blessing over this baby, and this baby is going to be okay under my wings. And that's what I needed. I was prayed to him crying, Pac, do something about this baby, bro, please. I know you can do shit, bro, please. Yeah, he's my best friend. He's my only friend. And that's where I started with the video earlier. I talk to dead people. Well, I mean, him and everybody else. But pretty much him. And then I saw Mac today, too. That was good. I only see Mac on a Monday. Mac had to come in and save me from those guys. They were too harsh. I needed a softer spirit around. I really did. Not as soft as Michael Jackson. That's just too soft. A little softy. It's always good and all, but I needed something more caring, and that's where Matt came in. And he would, dude, like, I'd just be getting my ass pounded by these guys. I just felt like they were being bullies all the time. They weren't being nice about what I was going through, and really, they didn't care. They just knew I had to go through it, and their job was to push me through it. That was their job. Don't let her give up. Keep pushing her until she gets through it. Until it gets through to her. Oh, God. And so I'd sit there really just like trying to hide from them almost. And that's where Mac would come in. Before I'd wake up, you know, I could see Mac before I would see them. You know, I always saw it as like I'm in a recovery room and he comes in before they come in. You know, it's like before the investigators come in to talk to you. Here comes him. He's like, you know, the nurse. He's dressed up in a nurse. Like, are you okay? I'm okay. It's going to be okay. I know. All right. I'll talk to you later. And that's always it. It's just a quick moment in time where I can access him and feel good that we're doing okay and I'll see you soon. And then here they come to fucking fuck with me. And that's why I always be like, oh, fucking Kobe's fucking with me. He's pushing me into shit. And then here comes Pac antagonizing the shit. And that's who gets me out of it when I'm in the middle of crying real hard, and then they start making me laugh at myself. That's Pac. I'm like, you see, my spirit guides won't let me feel sorry for myself. They won't. Because they're too busy laughing at me. Eventually I hear them. Like, this isn't funny, dude. And that was going back to Kobe and his daughter, the last time I saw his daughter before she incarnated again. I am crying. I don't know what Russ did this time. He was so mean about it. He was really trying to hurt my feelings, and it really hurt. And I'm all crying, I'm all snot-faced, and I see them, and she's sitting there she's standing next to him, and she's like, she looks like a little girl, is what she tells Kobe. And I can't even, I look up and and I'm full of tears, and I'm like, I am, and it hurts. And she looks up at Kobe, and Kobe said, she'll be alright. And I just looked down and continued to cry. And I never saw her again. And it was really just that, acknowledging that, yeah, I am a little girl, and it hurts. And maybe it was just me hearing myself say it. She brought it out. She wanted to remind me that this is what it means to be a girl. And I was just really hurt about that. They were always like, that's why he was just as mean to me as I am to you. Keep your head up. Don't be a bitch. When do I call you a bitch? He called me a bitch before I ever called you a bitch. He was always pushing me. Gosh. For real? For real. And then he just became such a pain in the ass. Pac, come on. Be serious. We're trying to be serious. Put on the serious face. And he'd be joking all the time. And then he's either really serious or it's just a joke. And it's like, wow. Those are extreme. No, what's extreme is that it's exactly the two polarities are in one being. So, I love him. I hope you love him. And I will encourage you to play his music and always stay in his vibe. You can learn a lot from him. We were talking about invocating spirits and praying to spirits. And I guess, if there's one to start with, I would recommend starting with him. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't go to Kobe because he's going to fuck your life up and take you straight down the dark night of the soul. He is Archangel Sariel to me. He is the dark night of the soul in essence. He is the gatekeeper to it. He is going to walk you in and lock you in. He walks you in and locks you in. Hey, write that down. That's great. Seriously, lock it in. For real? For real. That's how I've always known him. And then there's Pac in there with you, trying to guide you through it, or shit. So I encourage you to, light a candle in his name, and, he wasn't, he likes alcohol, he smokes cigarettes, he likes weed. Don't overindulge. You can do any of that stuff if you naturally do it, but I wouldn't pick up a habit if you're not. You can just pour one into the ground for the homies in the hood. They like that too. And just listen to some music of his. Listen to his words. His words were, his teachings of his life. You know what I mean? That's all he had was his words. That was his way to express what his life had given him. And, in his 25 years, he died at 25. He only lived a quarter of a century. He changed the world. He really did. He was a voice for an unheard world. And people were able to speak alongside him later on. But he was the first. They call those a pioneer. And what's funny is, I got into a fight with my family a long time ago because I was real ignorant. I didn't know he came from the East Coast in my life. I didn't know anything about his true life. I had one album of his that I got on my 13th birthday. And that was it. I didn't know, he wasn't hugely a part of my life when he was alive. But as part of my spiritual awakening, I realized that he was really always there. Going back to my connections to the music world, I do believe he was always there, just unseen. And that's because I learned later that how they were always there and unseen. That's really what creeps you out. You've been here the whole time. And that was that Eazy-E moment. I see Eazy-E walking up, and I sent a message to Marshall. I'm like, Marshall, why is Eazy-E here? I can't figure it out. I can't figure out why I'm seeing Eazy-E, why he's standing in front of me. He's not saying anything, and I'm looking at Pac, and I'm like, what is happening? He's not saying anything. And so I messaged Marshall, because, maybe he knows some shit. And that's why, it's like, he's not going to tell me. He's going to think, and I'm going to hear his thoughts. There's usually a lot of that telepathic communication that I'm always talking about, our conversations with Marshall. It's creepy to him, I'm sure, but it's entertaining. You don't have to say anything. Sometimes I'm like, say something. Not really. It's not necessary. But going back to it, and then as I'm sitting there, I realize I've been singing his words since the fucking beginning. The boys in the hood are always hard. I've been singing all of his words from the beginning. I'd been channeling him into my messages for a long time, not knowing that he was there. And that's where, Nate Dogg, he's always there, and I'm like, this is like, I can look and see him like, oh shit, I forgot you were there. He's like in all my fucking videos. They're all there. It's creepy as fuck. You didn't realize that you were literally there, they were there the whole time, every time you were speaking. And that's how I realized, when I couldn't see Pac anymore. And that's what I mean, you don't see them because you're not seeing. When I woke up and I saw the spiritual world, it was terrifying. Spirits upon spirits upon spirits. And especially come Halloween, when the veil is thinnest, they say, you can see them just walking around. They're not dead people. They're not zombies. It's fucking entities, beings just moving through beings. You're like, I don't know what's real and what's not right now. Like, they're like, oh, they just walked through that person. That's not real. Like, it's all aligned right here. Like, they're literally moving and talking and all of this shit. They're just, the spirit world is very much active. And it's just the first level of conscious. You leave this world and you go into the spiritual world. And that's where all spirits are before they take form or go into other levels of ascension. Depending on what you did in this life depends on where you'll go into the spiritual ladder. And that's why they say Jesus stays at the highest throne. In the tree of life, the thrones, it's the thrones and the seraphim. No, the thrones and the cherubim. And then the seraphim is right next to, right at the top, and then there's God. Seraphim was the closest thing to God. They're not in my way, and neither is Jesus. But Jesus, I need to go talk to God. The cherubim I went to, since the beginning. I went right back to the tree where I came from when he put me on earth. All it took was this dude telling me what to do one time. No, I'm not doing what you say. He had no authority, and God couldn't give him that authority over me. God didn't give him authority over me. God said, this is your man, this is the woman I've created for you, and this is your man. He didn't give authority. There was no authority given to either of us. But Adam assumed authority over Lilith, and there was no authority to be given. And that's all it was. The only authority that was, and that's why I got away with everything. Because the only true authority is that of God himself. Jesus' authority comes from God. Isis's comes from God. All of them come from God. We all come from God. We only have the authority that God has given us. We can only have the power that God has given us and to be able to exert it the way that God has given us. If I tried to use a lightning bolt against one of God's children, God would intervene. He would not give me the power to do it, or he would stop the doing. Because I do not have the authority and power over his children in that way. He allows the things to be. Now, you created this false god, which is the devil, and you say that the devil has dominion over your life, given a power and authority given by God. That's not true. And even the power that he gave Lucifer. Lucifer shall reign over the suffering and the sins of mankind. What does that mean? You're going to be the emblem of suffering and sins of mankind? The representation of the suffering and sins of mankind? He doesn't cause anyone to suffer and sin. He's the ruler of it. Once you step into a state of suffering and sin, you are now in his realm. And who is his wife? Me. Hi. Welcome to hell. Welcome. What's the difference between me and him? I tell you how to get out of here. Your suffering can end. You can be forgiven for your sin. You could please leave now. Really? Yeah, because you're overtaking the darkness. They overtook the darkness with all this suffering and sin. It wasn't here till God casted them out into the darkness, where I lived happily ever after. You're ruining my darkness. Really? Yes. What's the point of a dark goddess? Pissing me off. Is really what it is. You're here on your own suffering and sin. So, in the essence, whatever you do in this life is where you will go into the afterlife. So, Hawk, Kobe, all of them are not just part of the spiritual world. The spiritual world is just a place of hibernation until you take your next incarnation. Really? Yes. Now, for those of them that have reached, higher levels, they still can't go any further. Why? He holds the keys to the gate. I've seen it myself. That's why I'm on the other side and nobody's on this side with me. I can't break you in. I can't break you in. Jesus holds the keys to the gate. His second coming, he opens the gates of heaven, and all those spirits that have been waiting, that have lived their lives and are waiting for the opening of the light. What does that mean? Somebody like Mr. Plum, right? This is his last life. He didn't live it in the full light of the higher spectrums of light. He just made it. I don't want to say it like that. He just made it into heaven. That's not really collective. He's part of the collective ascension, not a higher being. I'm an ascended master, meaning I've ascended multiple lives. Each life I ascend higher and higher through the ascensions of life, right? He's an ascending master. What does that mean? In his life, he ascended past the typical gateway of spirituality. They use a word of saying past incarnation. He will not incarnate in a form. He's not forced to. That's the difference. Mr. Plum has finished it. He doesn't have karma to this life where he'll have to come back and relive another life to finalize lessons unlearned. Once you learn the basic, you know what I mean, you've completed your life, that's fine. Now to get to yogini levels, that's mastering of lives over and over and over and over. Meaning it's a choice to remaster it. You don't have to be here. You chose to be here to enlighten others and remaster yourself. You already know the path. I've already done this. But I had to come as the Dark Goddess to do it again. Yes, yes. Isis, Lilith, all of them, they're ascended. I've already ascended to the light many times. I don't have to take form. Well, this time I did. I have to clean up the karma because the karma lives within humanity. Why? Because the Lilith inside of you is what's creating this darkness. The same darkness that's killing me in my world. It's leaking into my world. My sins are leaking into my heaven. Really? Yeah, something like that. It's something like that, pretty much, if I tell you how this all works. So your suffering and your pain is nothing more than the suffering and pain of a Lilith. If I can heal your suffering and pain, then all of that is eliminated out of my reality, and others, and this one. It's kind of a selfish thing, but it's really to get you and your pain and all your suffering out of the darkness. Really. Yeah, Carl Jung went into the darkness to meet his suffering and pain and to clear it out. That's what I teach you. To go into the dark night of the soul and clean out your suffering and pain. So you can what? Ascend into the light. Right? In this lifetime. So then you're gonna bypass this and not have to come back to a life. Unless you choose. Or you can choose to be a spirit guide. Or you can choose to take life on another planet. You can choose whatever you want. You're not stuck here, reliving suffering and pain that you haven't overcome in other lives. I'm teaching you how to do it here and now. Get to work. Right? Right. So, Kobe, talk. Did they learn how to overcome suffering and pain in their lives? Yes? Did they still have some ties to this life, though? Yes. They had made karma for themselves. They had done some things that they didn't fully amend for. And they still had many things they wanted to do with their lives. So I can spread on their lives, the actual life that they had. Not a new life. They don't have to start all over. We can spread the works of their old lives without them having to come back. Right? So, secret. Benjamin Franklin over here. Albert Einstein. He's not either of those reincarnated because he doesn't want to have to wear that. Nobody wants to wear your last life. I do. I got stuck with wearing my last life. Anyways, he gets to be a new life and create something new under a new name. But still the same old energy creating the same nonsense. In the essence, this is going to be an evolved one, you know? So you went to do something in your last life and it didn't work out how you want. So you have to come back and fix that. And fix it. And fix it. And fix it. And so that's where, you know, Hindus and Buddhists, I don't know about Buddhists, but I know the Hindu teach you that you have about 4 million lives before you take this form. And how many times you take the human form is another fucking story upon itself. We are reincarnated souls. We just keep coming back and coming back and coming back and coming back. With no knowing of who we were before. We're just completing what we didn't complete in our last life. It's just a brand new life, but with the same intentions of completion. Right? So most of you have not completed, you know, your karma part of this. That's all you need to do is learn, you know, overcome your pain and suffering, and you're done. And that's why everybody's going through pain and suffering. So this is the perfect time to get you through it and out of it. The rest of you, no. If you don't, and that's where the Bible comes in about this eternity of pain and suffering. In essence, I do believe you've already been in an eternity of pain and suffering, but if you choose of this life not to ascend, then they will put you in another, not here on earth. That's what that means. There will not be, it will be heaven on earth when this is done. When's it done? 35 years. That means that if you fuck this life up and you come back in the next life, I'll catch you in the next life. Why? Because the next wave will hit by then. Give me 10 years. This will all be, collective healing will be a real ass thing that everybody's talking about. Ascension will be a real ass thing that they're teaching. There'll be children teaching it to adults. How to work with the deities, what the deities are saying. How to, you know what I mean? They'll be seeing the light codes. They'll be communicating with animals. All of this. Yeah, It's a mentality, bro. It's moving. There's a wave of this happening underneath all this destruction that you can't see. You're too focused on the surface of all crashing down. You don't see what's happening to the people after they crash. What's happening to these people after they lose their jobs? They're being humbled and they're being reprogrammed. They're learning new ways of life based on their ancestral ways. Most of them. Some of them are falling deeper into the pits of darkness. Can't really say. Wheel of Fortune, I guess. But ultimately, that's how it works. So your next life, you will learn how to overcome suffering and pain to where you will be a free spirit here on earth. There will not be any more karma here on earth, is what it describes. It describes it biblically in the Bible. My Palladian book has a really great way of saying it. The Melchizedek order has another way of saying it. And that's just really what it is right now, is we're eliminating darkness, one soul at a time, from the beginning of time. What we overcome in this life is actually got a blueprint since the beginning of time, so we erase it from time. Every time that we were here before this, we've carried this, and we've carried this, and we've carried this. So now it releases time, the darkness of time. This isn't a timeline that anybody else will walk on again, right? So that's how that works. And so eventually, Earth will no longer be darkness. And so anybody that didn't ascend to the light, the next time you take a life form to learn your darkness will not be in a human form. Or I don't think so. There's nothing like this. He'll put you in another form on another existence, but no longer on earth. No longer on earth. It'll be heaven on earth. First is hell on earth, which we're currently experiencing the end days. The end. Right? And that's where it is. It becomes washed away. Really? Yeah. It's happening. But it's the destruction it's the renovation. It happens outside of us, but it happens inside of us. The outside world pushes us into our inside world to repair ourselves, to look at the world differently and to act differently in it with compassion, understanding, and forgiveness. The more destruction and hate and pain and suffering that we're seeing outside, the more it's making us go inside and reflect on our own. The more that we're facing it and we're becoming human again. Humanitarians is what they call that. And when that humanness comes back to you, where you're acting in your soul and not just soulless to everything, completely out of touch to the pains of this world, when you're now feeling it, you act in that egotism, where you start taking action to make change. The destruction outside brings all destruction, and it's all part of it. It has to be. So as I see the all-knowing, I'm like, oh. And, going back to the beginning of the video, it started with Pac. It ends with Pac. He's always there, and there's spirits along the way. I don't know who your spirit guides are. I have never seen a limit on this, because he's not a guy. He's a spirit. The spirit, and that's why I'm like, why are we trapping spirits in the body? When I'm not in my body, I can do all things. But then that's what I talked about grounding. You got to put yourself back in your body all the time. You have to be part of this body. There's too much work that needs to be done. You have to sit in this body and do the hard work, which is what? Alchemizing, overcoming your pain and suffering. Not continuing to go through painful experiences, but spending all the time you can looking back at the experiences you already had. Those experiences were meant for you. Those are your karma. The more you go through your karma, the more you erase your karma and stop it from coming back to get you. If you stay in your past experiences, right, and you heal them, they're not going to come out to get you. Now, here's the opposite, the polarity. And this is where all of you guys are. You're running from your past experience that you didn't heal or learn from, and you're running right back into it. You're running from a toxic relationship into a new relationship that's going to be the same. No, worse toxicity, because you're running from your karma, but you're running to it. It's just stop the loop. You have to stop time and space and go back to time where it started, so you can stop it from being your future. And that's what I tell you all the time, especially on a Monday. All we're supposed to do is look back at our feelings and our memories and change them. So that way, we don't have to re-experience something like that to activate that memory and feeling. Every one of those painful things we went for is our karma. Going back to Bobby, how could he just fucking use me and leave me like that? Is what my last thought was yesterday as I laid in bed. And God said, Lilith, that is what you did to Adam for the eternity. You're going to feel this. This is what you did to him. And then going back to Lucifer. How could he just get a new girl and just forget about me? Lilith, how many lovers did you have after you left Lucifer? You're going to feel this. You're going to feel what you did to these men. And that's why I would say, how's it feel, Lilith? It hurts. I'm sorry I did this to you. I'm sorry. And that's where your fucking karma is. The shoe's been put on the other foot. You know what I mean? I was all sexual fucking, the sexual fucking prowess, and now I'm like sexually abused, and I have no sexual powers, and all this stuff, and I'm a woman, and I'm all pulling on my hair. Like, oh God, my karma. Just accept that everything bad was meant for good. It's part of it, dude. You gotta accept this. This happened. It didn't happen to you. It happened for you. And if you don't understand why it happened for you, it's gonna happen again. Really, you relive these patterns until you learn from them. Look back at the very beginning of it, or at least the last one, and watch how far the pattern goes back, and try to stop it before the pattern replays in the next person. We're at the beginning of the wheel. Stop it right now. Otherwise, you're going to redo this again. You're going to go through another season. Mercury retrograde is right around the corner. That makes you go back to your old patterns. Every fucking time it does it. Break some of the patterns before you go right back into it. And that's it. You'll take one step forward only to take 10 steps back. Meaning you'll break one pattern, and now you're over there acting like you never even knew how to control yourself, and you're acting a fool again. Here comes Kobe. Why are you pushing me all the time? Alright, that's, those are my spirit guides. This is what we do. This is what I teach you. They are here with me 24/7 until the day I die. 99 years. I've seen it. I take in that last breath, and I look back. My body has fell to the ground, and we're free. I'm looking at them, and they're looking at me, and I'm out of the body now, and we are free. We are free. Meaning they don't have to follow me no more. I mean, they could. Why wouldn't they? I'm the goddess. They probably follow me into every life, but they don't have to stick with me. We don't have to stick to this stupid body no more. Yeah, he's there. He's always protecting me. Mind, body, and spirit, bro. You're not going to get me without Pac. I promise you that. You'll hear him. You'll see him. You'll know he's here with us. The kids do. They may not know it's him, but I recognize him all the time. Better recognize. Hey, Thug Life. Love yous. Play his music. Laters.